Alright, hi there YouTube, it's me, Morsi America, playing on the Korean version of Dragon Blaze. However, in this episode, I'll be having this run in the background while I talk about maxing and ultimating keys. Now, technically, ultimating a key is not available yet in Global. It will be released when Chapter 4 is released, and that's going to be a while, and I'm going to show you the estimated date of when that's going to happen. Now, as you can see here, I've already maxed out my Sasha key, but I'll explain to you guys why maxing out a key is kind of beneficial. But the reason why I'm doing this is because if you haven't seen episode 16 of my Dragon Blaze videos, yeah, I'm trying to get the Transcendent Raven go. But I'll talk about that in a bit. Let me go over here and talk about this chart. Now, I'll have all of these links that I'm using down in the description below so you can take a look at it for yourself. But over here, I'm going to show you that in Chapter 4, technically, the Ultimate Dragon Buster and Dark Soul feature, along with Chapter 4 and Awakened main characters, they'll most likely, it might be released in December 6, 2016. Now, the biggest thing that's going to happen next in Global is the Sasha key. It's gonna get released in October 26, 2016. That might change. It all depends on our Gamevil. Now, if you look at these dates and compare them to the dates over here in the Korean Dragon Blaze was very quick when it comes to doing a bunch of stuff or a bunch of releases, and then over here in Global, it's taking a very slow time. And it's totally fine to me, but some people complain about it. It's well, what can you do? But with all this slow progression, it will help most new players kind of catch up on the things, and it will also give a lot of time for people to kind of get ready for all of the new features that's going to get released in Chapter 4. Now, before I start talking about these keys, let me state this. It is at your own discretion if you really want to max out a key. If you have certain goals in mind, let's say you want to get a bunch of Dragon Busters before you try to max out your keys, or maybe a mix of Dragon Busters and Dark Soul keys, or you want keys in general, and you don't want to max out your stuff yet, then that's totally up to you. You got a battle plan, you do whatever you want to do, and just go for it. If you're still new to the game, however, definitely use the Dragon Blaze wiki to kind of study up and figure out what keys you want to get for. There are 3 types of keys you could try to aim for. The giant keys, they're not out yet in Global. They will be released when we progress through Chapter 4, and that's not going to happen till next year. Now, I can state this though. The first 2 giant keys that will be coming out will be that Rogue Giant Key and the Healer Giant Key. You can definitely do some research right now, look into that information, and figure out what allies you need for them. Now, you can definitely figure out what Dragon Busters you want to aim for and what Dark Souls you want to aim for, because when it comes to most new players getting into Global, they have a Hero Select, and then they also have Draco Select, so you can try to use this to your advantage. But anyways, you can look up all of the technical stuff on this page right here, explaining how to use it and the creation of it, blah 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 blah. Now, I'm also going to show you the Korean tier list, because it's also going to suggest what key holders you could use. Technically, you follow this or you can do whatever you want with it, but if you're curious on how this works, all you have to do is make sure you go to this page, click on the keys tab, and then hover your mouse or hover your, icon over these, and then you can see that it's going to state what allies or what main characters are used specifically for these keys. And you can follow this or you can do whatever you want. It's up to you. But going back over here, let me talk about enhancing. So, when you enhance a key, it's going to take a good amount of materials, but it's going to slowly increase your stat. Now, if you get to max out a key, it's going to give you a 180% stat increase to that key, and it's very beneficial, because over here in Revenge of Belphegor, with a maxed out Sasha key, technically, let me go back and say, without a maxed out key, or I just had +0 on my Omega, +0 on my Atlas, and +0 on my Sasha key, they were stuck at round 2, wave 3 of Revenge of Belphegor. Or maybe they were stuck on round 2, wave 2 of Revenge of Belphegor. So yeah, that was pretty bad. But with a maxed out Sasha key, as you see here, I kind of progressed to round 2, stage 6 of Revenge of Belphegor, and that surprised me because usually it's stuck at stage 5, but I'm on stage 6. Anyways, yeah, having a maxed out key would be very good in damage, but like I said, it's all up to you on what you want to do and stuff, because the con to maxing out a key is that you're spending a lot of resources, spending a good amount of essences on it. So you're spending at least 270 essences along with 9,900,000 gold. And then you're also spending at least 9 triple S allies. Now, if you're still new to the game, I would advise this. Do not spend your rubies on getting a bunch of hero essences and then a bunch of allies in gold. Slowly farm for those. Now, here's an exception when it comes to you spending rubies. If there's a 1+1 event going on, go ahead and do a lot of summons and get a bunch of triple S fodder, because it's really, really helpful. In my 1+1 video that I deleted, it helped me get ready for Sasha. So, definitely use the 1+1 advantage and use the rubies for that. Now, you can technically use rubies on shoes, so you can farm for essences. That's acceptable, and that's alright. Just plan out accordingly on how you want to spend those shoes. Well, when you want to use those shoes. Because if you use those shoes without any buffs, there is a possibility you could get the essence to drop, but most likely, most of the time, it won't drop for you. So, just wait for, like, a buff to be on and then go ahead and farm like crazy. But if you're still new to the game, do not get discouraged. Just try to farm for most of this stuff. Anyways, getting back on topic. Yeah, as you can see, if you +1, +2, +3 it's going to give a small stat increase, but it's not going to take up that much resources unless you're still new to the game, or if you're somewhere along with like the starting stuff. I can't speak. Unless you're unless you're new to the game, it might be hard for you to get a lot of materials. Or if you're somewhere around like the beginning and the middle part of the game, then yeah. But yeah, just try to farm for those. But eventually, this will continue to stack, because if you +4, +5, +6 it, the gold will slowly increase along with the essences. And then lastly, when you +7, +8, +7, +8, +9 it, aka max it, you're going to be spending at least 45 essences and at least 1 million plus gold over here. So, once you max out a key, it's going to give you a good amount of stats, and you should be good for a while until Chapter 4 gets released. Now, when Chapter 4 gets released, you will be able to ultimate a key. Now, ultimating a key, it should be the same thing. Like, I haven't actually experimented on it yet, so most likely when I have enough triple S allies in my Korean version, I'll demonstrate that in a bit. But yeah, along with the fact that you're spending this much resources in total, counting this as well apparently. Actually, let me give you the separate numbers excluding this. So, when it comes to ultimating a key, you're gonna get another 180% stat increase to it. Now, the reason why it says 360% stat increase is because it also adds up the stat increase up here from the maxed out part. So there's +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, and then ult. That's 30% time. Well, technically 30 times 6. That's 180. Add the percentage sign. Add 180% plus 180%. Boom, you get 360%, which is down there. Now, for this, it adds up the total gold and essences from this as well. So, when you +1, +2, +3, +4, +5, and then +6, aka ultimate it, you are spending at least 285 essences. That's separate from the 270 up here. And then you are also spending at least 19,100,000 gold to get from like max +0 to ultimate. And then in total, you are spending at least 555 essences along with 29 million gold. Now, I didn't talk about Triple S allies. They should add Triple S allies in here because that's good. That's material as well. But over here, you are spending 9 Triple S ally materials to +9 it. And then, if you're gonna ultimate it, you are spending at least +12 Triple S allies. And then, when you add them all together, you are spending 21 Triple S ally fodder so you can ultimate a key. So yeah, that's a lot of resources right there. The benefit is you get 360% stat increase, along with the fact that you could try to aim for a transcended ally. But in global, that's not going to come anytime soon until later on. But if you have an ultimate key, you do not need to worry about much when the transcended stuff comes out. The only thing you need to worry about is getting the transcended essences, which you could buy in the shop, or you can make them. But yeah, pretty much that's it. That's what I want to talk about for this video. Maxing and ultimating keys. This is what you will have to prepare yourself for, along with the 21 Triple S fodder you'll need to max and then ultimate. So yeah, this is going to give you guys some foresight for the future. Definitely stock up on that gold, farm for that essence, and just get ready to do whatever you need to do. And like I stated, maybe you don't want to try to ultimate your key or max out your key right away. You want to make other keys before doing this. That's totally fine, that's all up to you, but I'll state this. When it comes to most of the modes in the Korean Dragon Blaze, like not just Revenge of Belphegor, that pig event thing, Caledon, I think? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but the Caledon event, Hero of Validation, Nightmare of Tower of Nightmares? I don't know. There's another thing for the Korean Dragon Blaze that's in the fight mode. But yeah, there's a lot of features that you definitely want to kind of max out your key and start ultimating them right away, because you'll get a lot more benefit late game. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I think I've repeated myself so many times, so I apologize for that. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys around, and peace.